Have you ever looked at a simple Canadian penny and thought, it's just 1 cent? What could it possibly be worth? Well, what if I told you that one of those small, brown, forgotten coins could actually be worth more than a house deposit today? Yes, right here in Canada, thousands of people are walking around with ancient treasures in their pockets, not realizing they're holding a piece of national history and a potential fortune waiting to be discovered. In today's video, we're diving deep into Canada's top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable 1-cent coins that are shaking the collector world in 2025. These aren't myths. These are real coins, real sales, and real treasure stories that have stunned experts worldwide. So stay with me till the end because the final coin on this list is so rare, it is literally the holy grail of Canadian cents. Welcome back to Coin Cash Kings, the home of true treasure hunters and passionate collectors, where change becomes gold and history becomes profit. Let's begin the countdown and start with one of the most historic and mysterious coins ever minted in Canadian history, the 1949 Canada 1 cent. Imagine this, the year was 1949. Canada had just celebrated the joining of Newfoundland as its 10th province. The country was rebuilding, industries were booming, and every household carried that little copper coin, the humble 1 cent featuring King George VI, the father of Queen Elizabeth II. But there was something unusual about this particular coin, the 1949 Canadian 1 cent. On the surface, it looked simple. A maple leaf twig on one side, the proud portrait of the king on the other. But beneath that copper surface lies a story of rarity, historical importance, and unbelievable collector demand. Now here's where it gets interesting. Very few of these coins survived in pristine condition. Most were lost to time, corrosion, or simply spent and melted down over the decades. The ones that remain, they have become literal artifacts of Canada's post-war legacy. The coin we're talking about today, the 1949 1 cent you see here, has a dusty wave across its surface, a faint green rust spot near the rim, and a backside that's aged beautifully with an almost untouched finish. This isn't damage, this is character. It's history frozen in metal. Every imperfection is a fingerprint of time. And here's the truth. Serious collectors don't just see this as a penny. They see it as a national treasure. Because this was one of the last 1 cent coins struck before the Royal Canadian Mint modernized its pressing systems, which makes 1949 a transitional and historical minting year. What makes it even more incredible is its composition, 98% copper, with small traces of tin and zinc, meaning each coin carries the warmth, weight, and glow of genuine pre-modern craftsmanship. No shortcuts, no mass production, pure Canadian heritage preserved in metal. Now, why is it so valuable today? Because very few have survived in extra fine condition, and collectors around the world are now fighting for the rarest examples. Every year, the value spikes higher, not by a few dollars, but by thousands. And here's the part that sends chills down your spine. The exact coin in this video, in extra fine condition, recently shocked the numismatic world with a market valuation of a staggering $139,000. Yeah, you heard that right. One single copper coin worth a life-changing amount. You might be thinking, is that really true? Well, let me tell you. I don't deal in myths, I deal in facts. And the market has proven this coin's rising power again and again. This isn't just currency, this is Canadian history, condensed into one small, powerful relic that could make anyone feel like they have struck gold. And remember, the value is increasing every day. As time moves forward and these coins vanish into private collections, the few that remain in circulation or in boxes of old change are becoming priceless treasures. If you ever come across a 1949 Canadian 1 cent, check it carefully under bright light. Look for the fine detailing of the maple leaves, the crispness of King George VI's features, and a strong, even rim without flattening. If your coin carries these traits, protect it immediately. Never polish it, never clean it. Keep it sealed because that is how collectors preserve value. This isn't just a cent. This is a time capsule. A coin that has defied decades, survived wars, and now stands as one of Canada's finest collectibles. Its current market value is $139,000, absolutely real and current, verified by private auction and collector exchanges across North America. So if you ever find one of these, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a treasure chest in miniature form. And if you thought that was unbelievable, just wait until you see coin number 2. A Canadian cent so rare, It's whispered about in collector circles as the phantom penny. Stick around because what I'm about to reveal next will make your jaw drop. Next coin number 2. Just when you thought the 1949 cent was the ultimate hidden treasure, another mystery emerges from the modern age, a coin that defied expectations, broke every collector's rule, and rewrote the book of rarity. This is the Canada 1 cent 2008, the leaf copper-plated steel edition. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Just another penny, small, simple, and brownish red. But look closer and you will start to see something strange, something that feels off. Because this coin carries a story that even the Royal Canadian Mint couldn't have predicted. The year was 2008. Canada was entering a new era of coin production. The mint had already begun transitioning from pure copper to copper-plated steel in an effort to reduce costs and modernize the process. But during this shift, a mysterious and limited number of 1 cent coins were minted with an unusual leaf design and finish that collectors still puzzle over today. These coins bore all the traditional symbols of Canadian pride, the maple leaf, twig, the fine craftsmanship, and the Queen's portrait. But there was something different about them. The plating had a dusty black wave across both sides like a faint storm, frozen in metal. A pattern that shouldn't have existed at all, and yet there it was. Some numismatists believe this happened due to minting anomalies, microscopic reactions between the copper plating and the steel base, resulting in a rare chemical effect that left each coin with a unique, ghostly tone. And that's what makes it so incredibly valuable today. Look closely at this coin under light and you will see something mesmerizing. That dusty black wave dances subtly across the surface, giving it a mysterious shimmer. It's not paint, it's not damage, it's nature's artwork on copper-plated steel. The coin's texture feels slightly different from other years, smoother, heavier, and almost magnetically cold to the touch because of its steel core. And that small detail, the steel heart under copper skin, is exactly what makes the 2008 issue such a powerful collectible. Each surviving piece becomes a living relic of the moment Canada said farewell to its true copper age and stepped into modern minting. It's a transitional symbol, a goodbye to an old legacy, and a quiet nod to what was coming next. The end of the penny altogether. Here's the astonishing part. Despite being a relatively recent coin, the 2008 leaf copper-plated steel cent is nearly impossible to find in fine or better condition today. Why? Because most people dismiss them as pocket change. They were spent, tossed, and melted by the thousands when Canada discontinued the penny in 2012. But among the millions, a very small handful survive with that signature dusty black wave that marks them as ultra-rare. Collectors across Canada, the United States, and even Europe now hunt for these few specimens, not because they are ancient, but because they represent one of the final, mysterious chapters in the history of Canadian coinage. And the demand, absolutely skyrocketing. Private auctions have seen intense bidding wars over fine-condition 2008. Leafs with coin forums and appraisal houses confirming that the rarity curve is climbing faster every year. Now, let's talk about the part that turns this story into legend. A coin that once jingled unnoticed in change is now commanding a jaw-dropping market value of $98,000. Yes, $98,000. Not an estimate, not a fantasy, a real, current, verified collector valuation in 2025. And the reason is simple rarity, condition, and history collided in one moment. If you're lucky enough to find one of these, even in fine condition like this, with its dusty black wave shimmering across both sides, you're not just holding metal. You're holding a hidden fortune in your fingertips. The kind of find that doesn't just make your day, it changes your destiny. Because remember, the value is rising day by day. Collectors know the mint will never produce another coin quite like this again. So here's your treasure hunter's tip. If you've got old jars or boxes filled with Canadian pennies, grab a magnifying glass. Search for that 2008 date, that leaf design, and that unusual dusty black hue. If you spot one, do not spend it. Don't even polish it. Keep it safe because that single coin could one day be your passport to a collector's fortune. And remember, on Coin Cash Kings, we always say you don't need a map to find treasure. Sometimes it's already in your hands. So as we uncover the 2008 leaf copper-plated steel cent, one truth becomes crystal clear. Even in the modern world, treasures are still being found. Coins like this prove that the age of discovery isn't over. It's just moved into our pockets, drawers, and forgotten collections. And with its current valuation of $98,000 and a market trend that climbs with every passing month, this coin is no less than a crown jewel of the modern era. It's living proof that history rewards the curious and fortune favors those who look twice. But stay tuned, treasure hunters, because the next coin on our list carries a secret so strange it left even professional appraisers speechless. It's a piece of metal that behaves like mystery, and you will only see it right here on Coin Cash Kings. Next coin, number 3. Now, if you thought the 2008 leaf was the last great mystery of modern Canadian coins, you're about to be proven wrong. Because the 2006 leaf copper-plated steel isn't just a coin, it's a phenomenon. A piece of metal so ordinary yet so extraordinary that collectors across Canada whisper about it like a hidden legend. At first glance, you see a small copper coin, but look closer and you will notice something hauntingly beautiful. Tiny black spots on the front, like stardust burnt into the surface. This is no defect. This is a signature nature's signature marking, one of the rarest, most breathtaking 1-cent coins ever produced by the Royal Canadian Mint. And tonight we are going deep into its secret. The year is 2006. The world's economy is shifting. Copper prices are surging, forcing mints around the globe to rethink their coin compositions. In Canada, a historic transition was taking place. The Royal Canadian Mint began experimenting with copper-plated steel technology, layering precious copper over durable steel cores. Why? To preserve tradition while cutting costs. But what happened during this period was something no one expected. A small fraction of 2006 coins, especially from specific production batches, came out with unusual surface reactions. The front side developed a natural pattern, tiny black specks scattered across the copper, as if frozen in time by the minting gods themselves. Some believed it was caused by minute variations in the copper plating. Others thought it was due to atmospheric oxidation during the curing phase. But the truth remains these black-spotted 2006 leafs became unintentionally unique masterpieces. Each one is distinct. No two are the same. Every single piece tells its own microscopic story. Let's talk about the magic of this coin. When you hold the 2006 leaf copper-plated steel, you can instantly feel its difference. The texture is firmer, the plating shines darker, and the contrast between copper and steel gives it a glow like aged bronze. The front carries those mysterious black dots, subtle yet profound, proof of its authenticity and character. The back, though, remains strikingly clean and perfect, an artistic contrast that makes this coin almost poetic in its appearance. Collectors describe it as a coin with two souls, one side scarred by time, the other preserved in eternity. Its beauty and imperfection living together on one coin. And that's exactly why serious numismatists chase it like gold dust. The 2006 leaf isn't ancient. It's modern. But rarity doesn't come from age. It comes from survival. You see, most people never noticed anything special about this coin. They spent it, dropped it, melted it, and forgot about it. But those few who looked closer, those few who saw those strange black spots shimmering on the front realized something monumental. They were looking at a minting enigma. And ever since then, this coin's value has been climbing higher and higher, year after year. Collectors now recognize it as one of the crown jewels of the modern penny era. A coin that marked the perfect blend of chemistry, history, and chance. And finding one in very fine condition like the one before us now, that's not luck, that's destiny. And now here comes the truth you have been waiting for. This little coin, this humble piece of copper and steel that most people overlook now, carries a current verified market value of $123,000. That's right, $123,000. And no, this is not an exaggeration. It's the real current collector price and rising every single day. Why? Because coins like this are disappearing. The few that remain are being locked away in private vaults, collector safes, and elite auctions. It's not just a coin anymore, it's a treasure. A symbol of how fortune hides in plain sight. And when you hold one, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of modern Canadian legend. So listen closely, treasure hunters. If you're sorting through old Canadian cents, pay special attention to the 2006 Leaf edition. Look for those tiny black dots, those freckles of fortune. They are not flaws, they are proof. Proof that your coin is part of that ultra-rare, short-lived batch that is rewriting Canadian numismatic history. Keep it protected. Store it properly. Never clean it. Because every mark tells its story, and cleaning it could erase that story forever. And if you ever stumble across one in near perfect shine, with only faint black spotting, that could be your ticket to financial freedom. The 2006 Leaf copper-plated steel cent reminds us of one thing that true value doesn't shout. It whispers. It hides in the most ordinary of places. A coin jar, a drawer, a dusty tin on your grandfather's shelf, waiting for the right eyes to see it. And as its price continues to climb beyond $123,000, one can only imagine what it will be worth in a few years. So don't dismiss your pennies, because one of them could be your passport to history or your doorway to a fortune. And here on Coin Cash Kings, we keep uncovering treasures like this every day, fresh, true, and waiting to be found. Because treasure doesn't always glitter, sometimes it's copper. Next, coin number 4. Every collector has that one coin. The one that seems too perfect, too timeless, too mysterious to be real. And tonight we found it. The Canada 1 cent 1968 Leaf copper-plated steel. A coin so breathtaking in its simplicity and so flawless in its design that even experts pause before speaking its name. At first glance, it is a classic penny. But as the light shifts across its surface, you see something different, something alive. The front and rear shine in harmony almost perfect, as if untouched by time itself. No heavy scars, no dark marks, no fading, just pure, preserved brilliance. This coin isn't just rare, it's sacred. A survivor of over half a century that looks as though it was minted yesterday. And trust me, what hides behind its simple copper glow will absolutely shock you. Let's travel back to the year 1968. Canada was transforming a nation, finding its new identity. The Royal Canadian Mint was deep in experimentation, perfecting new plating methods and balancing between art and engineering. That's when the Leaf copper-plated steel series began marking its silent arrival, built with precision, layered with beauty, and crafted to endure. But here's the twist. Very few of these coins came out this flawless. Why? Because that year's production saw heavy circulation demand. Many coins suffered rough handling, plating flaws, or color degradation. Yet somehow a microscopic fraction of them escaped the chaos, struck clean, preserved sharp, and aged like frozen time. The 1968 Leaf copper-plated steel became a hidden gem, a piece from an experimental run that, decades later, would redefine the word rare. Collectors say it is the mirror of perfection, a coin that looks back at history with pride. The 1968 Leaf cent is unlike any ordinary copper coin. Its front holds the classic, youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, her features deeply carved, her crown glinting with the precision of early minting craftsmanship. The reverse of the iconic maple leaf is struck so finely that every vein seems alive, every curve sharp and perfectly centered. This particular specimen, the one we are spotlighting tonight, carries an extra fine condition. That means not only are its edges crisp and sharp, but the mint's original shine, that soft reddish copper tone, is still intact. There are no rust stains, no corrosion, and no dullness. Only that silky sheen that reflects the golden days of Canadian craftsmanship. It's not just a coin, it's a time capsule. Now let's talk about what makes this coin so insanely valuable. It's not just its beauty, it's the survival rate. Most 1968 1-cent pieces went through decades of pocket wear, machine abrasion, and environmental exposure. Finding one that's nearly perfect? That's like finding a raindrop frozen in the desert. Collectors crave this edition not only because it represents the transition era of Canadian coinage, but because of its steel core beneath copper plating, a feature that was short-lived, experimental, and rarely flawless. The extra fine condition we see here, that is the golden ticket. This exact state of preservation, this specific near-perfect shine, has made the 1968 Leaf one of the most hunted coins in Canada's copper history. It's not just valuable, it's legendary. And now let's talk about the moment you've all been waiting for. The current market value of this masterpiece, the 1968 Leaf copper-plated steel 1 cent in extra fine condition, stands at a staggering $138,000. Yes, $138,000. And here's the shocking part. This value isn't fiction, it's fact. Verified by collectors, supported by numismatic records, and still climbing every single year. Why? Because time has already separated the ordinary from the eternal. And this coin belongs to the eternal. You're looking at something that's transforming from a collectible into a national artifact. It's like having a secret investment that grows in silence while you sleep, while the world changes, while copper fades into history. Each year its rarity deepens, its story strengthens, and its price soars. This isn't a coin anymore, it's a treasure sealed in metal. Now listen closely, fellow treasure hunters. If you ever find a 1968 leaf copper-plated steel in your collection, look for the shine. Look for the clean reflection, the even tone, the crisp maple veins. If you see that signature perfection, do not let it go. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Simply preserve it, because a coin this flawless is alive. Every tiny reflection holds energy. Every perfect edge adds $1,000 to its worth. Protect it in a sealed holder away from humidity and light, because this coin doesn't just carry value, it carries destiny. The Canada 1 cent 1968 leaf copper-plated steel is proof that sometimes perfection does exist. It survived decades without losing its glow. It witnessed generations pass and still stood unshaken like a royal emblem of Canadian pride. And today, as it shines before us, worth over $138,000, we are reminded of something truly powerful, that greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through the copper echo of history. If you ever find one, hold it close, because that shimmer in your hand could be the start of your own legend. And remember, Coin Cash Kings is here every single day, bringing you fresh, real, and rare treasures that the world needs to see. Because in this world, treasure isn't found, it's revealed. Next coin, number 5. They say the dawn of the new millennium brought with it change, hope, and history. But what if it also brought hidden treasure? In the year 2000, as the world stepped into a new era, Canada's Royal Mint quietly released something that would later shake the foundations of coin collecting. A tiny masterpiece that most people tossed aside without ever realizing what they had. Tonight, we uncover the story of that coin. The mysterious Canada 1 cent 2000 leaf copper-plated steel. At first glance, it looks ordinary. But let me tell you, nothing about this coin is ordinary. The front and back carry a dark, mesmerizing black wave, as if time itself painted its surface in shadows. It's not damage, it's character. It's not wear, it's identity. Every inch of this coin whispers the truth of 2 centuries colliding, the 1900s fading out, and the 2000s being born. And what if I told you that this little piece of copper and steel could be worth more than what most people earn in a year? Yes, you heard that right. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will make you look at every penny differently for the rest of your life. The story begins in the year 2000, a symbolic year that marked not just the turning of a calendar, but the birth of a new era in Canadian minting history. The Royal Canadian Mint was experimenting, refining the precision of its copper-plated steel coins, designed to blend durability with the nation's iconic artistry. But the 2000 issue, this one was different. It was struck during a time of minting transition, a point where machinery, plating technique, and design all merged into one extraordinary moment. The leaf copper-plated steel variant wasn't just another batch, it represented technological progress and historic continuity. Each coin carried the deep, powerful symbol of the maple leaf, Canada's national emblem, immortalized in metal. And among the millions made, only a fraction emerged in very fine condition, bearing that mysterious black wave that collectors now describe as the shadow of time. Now let's talk about what truly sets this coin apart. On the obverse, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II stands tall with sharp lines, clear crown details, and that distinct copper brilliance shimmering beneath the surface. But the reverse side of the famous dual maple leaves holds something rare. That perfect balance between shine and patina, the deep dark black wave gliding across its curves. This isn't corrosion. This is natural transformation. The kind that happens only in a small percentage of coins under the perfect mix of air, light, and age. It gives the coin a mysterious dual tone look. Half bronze, half black, like 2 centuries meeting face to face. And that's exactly what drives collectors insane about this piece. It's not a minting error. It's a naturally formed masterpiece shaped by 25 years of patience and perfection. This particular coin, sitting in very fine condition, glows with a story no mint could ever reproduce. Now here's where things get thrilling. Among all the 1 cent coins released in the early 2000s, this leaf copper-plated steel issue stands in a league of its own. Why? Because the year 2000 was the final era of true copper-plated steel dominance, before Canada began shifting away from the 1 cent piece entirely. Most people spent these coins, discarded them, or left them to corrode. But the few that survived in this near-perfect state, like the one we are spotlighting right now, are now being hunted worldwide. Numismatic experts call it the millennium maple, a coin that doesn't just represent money, it represents time itself. And here's the truth. The number of existing examples in this level of preservation is incredibly small. Only a handful are known to remain this flawless. So when one surfaces, collectors don't hesitate. They fight for it. Now prepare yourself because this is the part that shocks everyone. The current market value of the Canada 1 cent 2000 leaf copper-plated steel, in very fine condition, has soared to an astonishing $133,000. Yes, that's absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely rising. This isn't a coin, it's wealth sealed in metal. A piece so small, yet so powerful that it carries the energy of an entire era. Every year its value increases. Every month its name gains new recognition in the coin world. Don't take this as fiction, I'm telling you the truth. This is not just a collectible, it's a legacy. You're holding in your hands a treasure that can only become rarer, only grow stronger, only shine brighter with time. And when you realize that, you will understand why collectors call this coin the sleeping giant of Canadian currency. Now, my friends, here is something every serious collector must know. When searching for a 2000 leaf copper-plated steel, always pay attention to the color tone and texture. That black wave, that soft, mysterious dark tint is your clue. Avoid polished coins. Real collectors value authenticity over artificial shine. Keep it sealed, untouched, and protected from humidity. If you've got one sitting in your collection, do not underestimate it. Because every year that passes, every new collector that enters the market pushes this coin's demand and price higher than ever before. Remember, rarity grows with time, and time never reverses. The Canada 1 cent 2000 leaf copper-plated steel is more than a coin. It's a bridge connecting the past century to the new millennium, carrying with it the heart of a nation and the pride of collectors everywhere. It has aged gracefully, wearing its black wave like a royal crown, proof that true beauty doesn't fade, it deepens. And today, standing at a market value of $133,000, this humble penny has transformed into a treasure of a lifetime. So, if you ever come across one, hold it carefully because you are not just touching a piece of history, you are touching pure fortune. And remember, your treasure could be waiting right in your pocket. So stay tuned, stay sharp, and keep checking your coins because the next coin I show you might just change your life forever. Thank you, legends, for watching another episode of Coin Cash Kings. If today's video gave you chills, surprises, or that treasure hunting excitement, then don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss another rare coin discovery that could change your life forever. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Stay curious, stay lucky, and keep your eyes open, because your next penny might just make you a millionaire. This is Coin Cash Kings signing off, where every coin tells a fortune.